But I would use that as a way to get out of school.
I didn't know that. You thought I was going to die. Oh my God, I'm scared.
This is what I've always wanted to know. Well, my TikTok tarot card readings tell me. Have you seen cheating on each other?
Oh my God, this is going to be traumatic. Well, this one gave me podcast theme ideas.
Did you chat GBT it?
Yeah. Beyond the filter, a mother and daughter conversation.
Mine said
This was good too.
a
Sorry.
conversation with mum.
Oh yeah, that's cute. Built, not born. More than muscles. From anxiety to athlete.
All right, let's start this. So today is a very, very special video. I have my beautiful mother here with me. So we thought we would do like a little podcast style video because I felt like it'd be nice to kind of sit down, talk about my journey, my health, my mental health growing up, getting into competing, and then also hearing mum's side of stuff you've gone through your life and what you were like growing up, so we can get kind of different generations. We have a bunch of questions that we're going to just go through with each other. Do you want to start off with something?
I'd love to start.
Talk about yourself first. Introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Jacqueline. I'm 52, nearly 53.
She's young.
I had Lauren when I was 27, I think. It was
27. Oh, I thought you were younger.
I was 25 when I had your sister.
Even.
And then 27, because we're both born in May. So,
Yeah.
And you were born at the start
May
of
babies. Wait, are you a Taurus as well?
No.
Or you're just at the
I'm
end?
actually on the cusp.
Yeah.
But I'm a Gemini through and through.
Oh, you're crazy.
No, I don't think that's what the Taurus is.
No, Tauruses are really chill.
Oh, no.
I was actually reading about Tauruses yesterday. Someone was talking about like what Tauruses love, what they don't love. And I could relate to everything. I'm very much a Taurus.
Well, I mean, there's misconceptions about Geminis.
They're two-faced.
They are not two-faced.
No, I don't think it's like two-faced is where you talk behind people's back and you're nice to their face. It's more you can have different sides to you and you can adapt to different people.
Okay, I like that better.
Yeah.
We can adjust and adapt. Yes, we can see different perspectives. Yes, it's not all bad.
No.
Yeah, that's me, and I am a career woman. I work in talent and capability and do a lot of strategic work, and that's what keeps me busy. And I am at that age of the menopausal change.
Which I think will be really interesting to get into a little bit more about just what you've kind of experienced, how we're going through this change and like health issues and what you kind of need to do to change your lifestyle.
All I can say is it's shit to be a woman right now. But yes, we will talk about that.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you because, and I do watch your Instagram and I do watch the comments and, there obviously I know you and I know the real you and I know you're not AI and I've seen those legs and they are real, and that frustrates me about social media, but I know that's what goes hand in hand with that. But I guess my question for you is, for people who don't know you, how would you describe yourself beyond the social media and the bodybuilding?
I am very much a homebody. I'm very much a introvert. My whole life I've been a massive introvert. So it's kind of crazy that I have like kind of got into the bodybuilding world because that's very much like show your body, be a standout type of thing. I think I'm just a very down-to-earth person. I have been told a lot I'm a very like comforting person to be around. They enjoy just like talking to me because I'm good at listening and very trustworthy, I guess. Yeah, it is kind of crazy comments that I've received and people kind of portraying me a certain way. And it's happened to me a lot growing up, like because I was so shy in school, didn't like them because I wouldn't say hi to them in the hallways, where I was like depressed. I didn't want to be there. So why would I want to smile down the hallways? So it is kind of interesting when people see me a certain way, because on social media you only see one side of me, and it is something I want to kind of show my personality a little bit more on social media so people can kind of understand that I think I'm just a little bit weird. See, I think I'm autistic, and I've done a test. I think I have some slight autism or Asperger's.
So I have a psychology degree. That does not make me an expert. But everybody has.
See, I think everyone has something wrong with them.
No, I wouldn't say that people have anything wrong with them. What makes up a person, you can't just put on one scale, because it's going to be a combination of your genetics as well as your
upbringing,
your personality, your upbringing, your values, the formative years as a child in those development period is really going to also ingrain a lot about you, right? So it's such a broad thing.
I actually had many people think that I was rude or...
With you were a very sick baby, right? And so I look at you as a lot of your issues around your anxiety has come from your very first few years of, lack of sleep. You're always in pain from really bad reflux. I used to have to sleep her in her crib, like literally on a 45-degree angle, because you would just vomit every day. And that went on for 12 months, and we had all the tests.
Weren't you going to do surgery on me or something?
Well, they actually found nothing wrong with you. So they actually could not find a physical reason for why
I was just vomiting for
you
no
were
reason.
doing this. Yeah, we didn't get the answers that we needed. So but you learnt this pattern of, I can scream and and people are going to come running. And
wait, sorry.
I didn't help. I honestly didn't help, because I should have handled things differently. But
well, when I was in high school, and I don't know if this is because like growing up I vomited so much, but when I was in high school, a way I would get out of school, I think it was maybe primary school as well, I would do this. I could vomit on command, which was disgusting, but I could just easily vomit. And it was because I was so anxious every morning. I could just work my body to be so anxious, where if I ate anything, I remember having one of those vitamin gummies. I remember eating one of those and then throwing it up straight away. So like trying to eat anything first thing in the morning was just so hard for me before school, because I was just so anxious. But I would use that as a way to get out of school.
I didn't know that.
There was actually another thing I used to do, because we would wash our school uniforms most nights. I would purposely chuck my school uniform underwater so they were wet. And I'd be like, well, I can't go because my clothes are wet.
Oh my God, this is going to be traumatic. I mean, it was an absolute traumatic period. I mean, we had school refusal from like grade 4. I had you at the psychologist, and she diagnosed you with severe separation anxiety, because you thought I was going to die. And I think you probably just thought I was, because obviously my marriage with your dad was breaking down as well. And so you had this greatest fear, I believe, that I was going to leave, and that was it. And I mean, I remember the psychologist saying to you, well, what's the worst that could happen? Your parents could get killed in a car accident. What's going to happen to you? Someone's going to take care of you. She was that brutal with you.
Yeah, I have very bad, and I still do kind of go through it with, I just, for some reason, and I don't think I don't really remember a whole lot of my childhood. I think my brain kind of blocked a lot of it out, but I had this weird thing where I was so scared that someone was just going to leave me and I was just going to be by myself. And so now bringing that into adulthood, I kind of like have this thing where I hold on to relationships and I hold on to friendships because I'm scared of them leaving me, which is so like, it's bad, because then I hold on to stuff that is not good for me. I don't remember if you and Dad were together and you guys went out with friends, or if you guys were split up and someone left me at Nan and Pa's, but I was very sick. And because I was really sick, I was a bit out of it. And I remember falling asleep and then waking up and wondering why I wasn't home. And I fully thought that you guys just left me there forever and weren't coming back.
Aww.
Which, like, I don't know why I'd be upset being stuck in Nana Pass, because
I
that's
know,
the best
that's
place
the
ever.
best place. I mean, that was half the reason why you probably didn't go to school either, because you knew
I got so
you
spoiled.
could get spoilt by Nana, because
Lollies, chocolate.
she would go and get her any food she wanted.
We would go to the reject shop, and Nam would always let us pick out a little souvenir from the reject shop. That was the best.
Yeah, I really couldn't compete with that. But anyway, we got you through. Oh, actually, I would have to say you got you through to at least to what, year 10?
Year 10, and then I left school in year 11, but I told myself I wanted to do Deb and then leave.
Yes, I remember that.
But to be fair, I never really went to school leading up to Deb.
No, she didn't. It was an absolute battle, and it was a real fear for you. Is like, what is going to happen to you? You're this anxious, you were having panic attacks, and you were beautiful. Like, I know you had your sort of body issues, throughout that change in life, but by the time you had done your Deb, you were so tall, and you were beautiful shaped body, and you were gorgeous, as you are now, like your big, beautiful eyes, like, you stood out as a very glamorous, but you were still so very insecure.
I was extremely insecure. I think, I didn't like anything about myself. I didn't like my body, my face, the way I looked. I think the only thing I liked was my eyes, and that's something you can't change, so bless. But yeah, I struggled so badly, and I changed my hair a lot growing up. In a way to try and see if that would help fix something. And I would always use my hair as like a safety net. So I remember when I cut my hair really short, that destroyed me because I couldn't cover myself up with my hair. That was horrible.
And look, it was a really tough time through that period, because that's when we did actually separate. And then, you and your sister were living between mum and dad's. But if there's one thing that I look back on at that time, it was a really tough time for everybody. And although your dad and I, we're not in a good place, at least we still worked really hard for the family unit to still be equal parents, make decisions together about you girls, and I really probably have to thank Nan and Pa for that too, because they were quite instrumental in keeping that family unit together. And and as a result of all that, like, we still spend Christmas morning,
which I
together.
Really appreciate, because I've seen like some friends' families and people, when they split up, it just completely divides the whole family. So I am very grateful that we are still close and we still spend time together, and you see Nan and Pa, and everyone gets along now, which is really nice. But it did take some time to get to that point.
It did. Yes, nothing's rosy.
No.
It's not all, yes,
It's not cupcakes
sunshines
and
and rainbows. But it does. But it's like any relationship, you have to work at it.
Yeah.
Whether that's your partner or even with your children, with our relationship, it's not just something that's always just there, because I'm sure I irritate you.
We definitely did have some ups and downs, and I know there were like a fair few moments where you were probably overwhelmed with stress, and then I'm dealing with my own shit. We would just get on each other's nerves, and I do know, I think there were a few times my sense of humor kind of irritated you, because I probably pushed your buttons.
Oh,
and
possibly.
You didn't like that.
But you girls were good at pushing my buttons too.
Yeah. It's just fun.
So if I ask you to look at your younger self, right, knowing of like what we've just talked about and where you've come from, so what would surprise your young self most about where you are now?
Everything. Because I think growing up, and I think most of the family didn't think I was going to leave home.
No.
No one thought I was going to move out or even just leave.
Or live hours away.
Yeah.
From where, no.
Yeah, so
I thought you might leave home, maybe, but maybe 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
Not 2 hours down the road.
And especially, I was 17 when I moved. Kind of moved. I went to a different school in the city. So I think, that is a huge part, as well as kind of starting social media and putting myself out there more. Bodybuilding and going on stage is huge because I couldn't do presentations or do anything in front of a class. So the fact that I've gone on stage practically half naked, younger me would be, honestly, she might have a heart attack.
Do you think she'd be proud of you though?
Yeah, for sure. Because I've always known, like, inside of me, there is something there that I can achieve big things. It's more just getting out of my head and not letting the anxious thoughts and anxiety get to me and stop me and hold me back from achieving all my dreams. So, yeah, it's kind of massive. But I knew I always wanted to be a star. I was just too scared.
Did I ever tell you that, or all your anxiety and the same things that you did and the school refusal, that I think Grandma told you that I used to do the same thing.
Yeah, I remember having a chat with Grandma about you because we're very similar
So
with
it's
how we
interesting
were.
because when we sort of talked about, well, there's the genetics and then there's the environment and there's all of that. And there's different triggers for me from my childhood that thankfully you didn't have to go through. And that is a form of like sexual abuse. But so my triggers are quite different, but the pattern's very similar in how we have reacted with that anxiety, that social anxiety, generalized anxiety.
Yeah.
Yes.
With you growing up, how did you kind of work out different ways to handle your anxiety and not let it stop you and hold you back from?
Well, it did hold me back because whilst we had then the body issues, because I had body issues as well, but I went the other way to you, is I put on weight and I felt more protected that way because obviously then being overweight, I was less attractive. Therefore, I wasn't, preyed upon.
And you would cover yourself.
I would cover myself. I would wear big baggy clothes. I went through my whole teenagehood like that. When I met your dad, I was slimmer, which was fine. And he never had any issues with me putting on weight. But when we separated, I actually then lost a lot of weight and did the PT. I got really fit. I have got a muscle pit. I never got muscly like you, but I was fit and attractive. And then, of course, what happened? I started getting preyed on again. I started having more interest, and it was over. And that in itself is a trigger because I don't know how to handle that. So it's very overwhelming. It's very scary. Thankfully, though, now I'm in a long-term relationship with a very caring, respectful, knows body physical boundaries as well, which is really helpful.
All right, everything's set up. Round 2, Ma.
Let's go for it.
Okay. I think I want to start off this section with some advice from Mother.
Okay.
I want to first ask because I'm getting back into dating.
Oh my God, I'm scared.
So am I. So I just want some advice because I'm terrified of dating. I honestly hate it. And I just need some mother's help.
That's a really tough one, Lauren, because having been a single woman at different occasions in my life.
But how did you get back into it? Because now that you're in a happy relationship, how did you get yourself?
You just had to put yourself out there. That was the hardest part.
Yeah.
And dating apps, I mean, I don't think it's changed since when I was dating. So I've been off the market for 14 years now. That's quite a bit of time, but as far as I'm aware, the dating apps haven't changed.
No, they're quite horrible. And I will
Yeah.
I'll download it when I'm bored. And when
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I need that attention. But then it becomes so overwhelming, or it's just like everyone on there is just not good.
It's really hard to just meet somebody these days in a natural environment.
I would much prefer to meet someone just like out in the open. Actually, yesterday when I was on my lunch break, I was just like, I always go for a walk on my lunch break. I like walk up and down the street. And I was just minding my own business. Now my work top shows my arms, which sometimes I feel weird about because I do look like kind of buff in this nice outfit. But I was walking and I was heading back to work and this guy like stops me and he's like, "Oh my God, hi. Like I saw you across the road and you look so fit." I was like, "Oh, thank you." I don't know how to take a compliment.
Well, I
I
think
just,
you
I was
just
just like,
say thank you.
yeah, I just start laughing and I say thank you.
Just take the compliment.
It was really
Thank
nice. It
you.
was nice. And there was another time some other guy came up to me and he asked for my number, but I said no.
Can I ask why? There was
Um,
nothing there. Like, what was the reason you said no?
I wasn't attracted to him.
Well, then that's fine. Then
Yeah.
say no. It's okay to say no. You
Yeah.
don't owe them
But I
anything.
also feel like because I'm trying to date now, I am so used to, like, especially going through 2 comp preps. So I've pretty much been by myself for quite a while. I'm so used to my own space. I'm so used to my own routine. It's really hard for me to, like, get out of that and let someone in.
So, and I'm not going to say who this person is, but you will know who this person is. So think about that family member who has been single for a very long time.
I do think about that.
And they now have a committed relationship for the first time in 50 odd
A
years.
long time.
Right, right. So, maybe this conversation needs to happen with that person to get their
Well,
perspective.
I know nothing against her. I look at her situation and I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be someone that's so fussy and doesn't really put themselves out there
Like,
or goes for the wrong people constantly.
yeah, the relationships are a really
It's hard.
complicated space, and the environment that you're in and everything that you're doing and rah rah rah, it's I'm not going to say it's easy, because once you're in the relationship, then you've got to navigate
You also like,
those differences.
yeah, and you slightly, like when you're around someone so often, you start becoming them. And that's one of my biggest fears where I'm around someone that has very different like values and very different goals to me and then I start losing myself again because I've done that in the past where I've put all into someone else and didn't focus on myself at all and I just let everything that I like doing go and I just did whatever they wanted to do. That's something that I don't want to ever do again and I want to make sure that if I do allow someone back into my life, they understand that I have these goals and I will put those goals before anyone or anything.
I used to use this sort of diagram, and if you think of yourself as a circle, and then you think of your partner as a circle, and you both have your own identities, right? And then when you link the two together, you've got now
Should be a Venn diagram.
you've got three components now,
Yeah.
right? You've still got the self, their self, but you've got this component in the middle with the overlap. Okay, and I used to self-talk, and I used to do this with my current partner as well, because he had very particular activities that were excluding of me, which was fine, but I had very particular activities, and we still do. So we still have our own identities.
Yeah.
And we still do very different things. I travel, and I travel, for work, and I went to Bali with you, and I went to Queensland with you. But he's not a traveler. He does not enjoy doing that. He's a homebody. He's a doer. He's a fixer. He's a builder. He's all of those
In the
things.
shed
Yeah,
24/7.
he's in the shed, man. And we're best friends. So if there is any advice,
Cute.
well, if there's any
jealous.
advice I can give to you, is find your best friend,
Yeah.
because through thick and thin, through once the honeymoon's over, they still, the flame is not there all the time. So if you're constantly looking for that spark and that flame, you might find it, but actually find the qualities that you admire, and that's the other thing. I respect and I admire him the same that he does me. See, I'm not that practical person. But he looks at me as the intelligent one of the partnership. And I do all his computer work because he does not know how to use computers. And he's younger than me, and he had more exposure to computers at school than I did. But I do all that side of things, and he does all the practical things.
Yeah.
And it works. But the thing that keeps us together is that we are best friends.
Yeah. I do. I think I do just need to put myself out there more. And I think because I think about past relationships and things that I've gone through, I need to kind of let a lot of it go. But it is also because of my attachment issues. When I do start liking someone, I do just want to do everything I can to make them happy, which then makes myself unhappy because I'm scared of them leaving me.
It's
I
about the
know.
balance. If you go back to my
I need
circles,
to learn balance.
you are allowed to have your identity. They're allowed to have their
Yeah.
identity. But somewhere there's that compromise in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, so but if you're completely rigid yourself, you're not letting them in. But that does not mean that you're the one compromising. They have to compromise too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And like in my relationship, he did not always compromise. I probably had to fight a fair bit for that because, I
Yeah.
mean, let's face it, and I don't mean to offend any of the men out there, but we still are in a patriarch society, right? Men still are the dominant one.
Yeah.
And in relationships, like in decision making, I still think that my partner makes more of the decisions, especially about where we live,
Yeah.
the trajectory that we're on in our pathway to retirement. Is this more his decision? I mean, I'd be, if I had a choice, I'd be living up in the bush away from
I mean, the amount
everybody.
of times you've mentioned you want to move somewhere.
And yeah, I can't because he needs to be here for
Yeah,
work.
he's locked down.
He's locked in, which is great. And I don't want him to just go and upheave and make this life-changing decision and then move away from his family. And so I am compromising. But at some point in time, I want
Yeah, things will change.
I want that
Yeah.
sanctuary. I'm an introvert too. I like
Your own
my
space, your peace.
space. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I do need to I also am quite selfish in the way where I don't really want to change or compromise much for people, which I do realize I do need to kind of change my ways a little bit and, work around my own schedule to allow people in. Because if I don't do that, then I'm never going to meet someone because I'm not going to make the time for someone. It's hard. And dating is hard in general. Like dating apps, it's so overwhelming. And I get called weird so often. I just don't know how to handle it.
Let me ask you about that. So you've said that to me a few times.
Yeah,
but
because people...
What do they find weird about
This
you?
is what I've always wanted to know. I have been called weird so many times, and I've asked people, what do you mean by that? And all they say is, oh, you're just a little bit different to like other girls I've spoken to. But I've never understood, like, what does that mean?
That.
Is it because like they think I look like I'm a bitch and I'm not a bitch? Like I don't know. I've always wanted to know. And
Or do they think you're a blonde bimbo?
probably. And then I say that I like Star Wars, and they're like, men are so simple. But I've been told
I don't
that
know.
so
So
often.
see, I find it weird. That is weird in itself because
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess I do kind of take it as a compliment because I'm like, at least I'm not boring. I'm just odd.
but tell me one person that isn't weird. Tell me, people,
Everyone
single
has their
person
quirks.
has a quirk,
Yeah.
has a little idiosyncrasy, has a little, something that's a bit.
Maybe I'm just not good at hiding my weirdness and it just comes out easier or quicker. Because, don't you like spend, I don't know, they say 3 months with someone and then you kind of see their true colours.
Is it? I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, they always say like the 3 month rule before you decide to go into a relationship. Date for 3 months, and then you'll see their true colors.
Yeah. So all I can say is, like when I met my partner, I knew instantly that
Oh,
there was the connection there, and I hope
see,
that
that's what I want. I have not had like an instant connection.
that comes for you, and maybe in time that will.
Well, my TikTok tarot card readings tell me they're coming.
Okay.
Do you get those? Oh,
No.
okay. I do every day. It's always before I go to sleep. I'll do like a quick scroll through TikTok,
Yeah.
and she'll be like, "Wait, this video is for you. If it's on your For You page, it is for
Oh
you."
yes, yeah.
And then she'll start swiping
Okay.
through. She'll be like, "Your man, your soulmate, he's coming. He's just waiting for the right time."
Okay.
And I sit and I listen.
Well, I'm not on TikTok anyway, so
Oh,
I don't
good.
get those. But
Brain
yeah,
rot.
I get other weird things. Which,
Have you seen the AI fruits cheating on each other?
cheating?
Yeah.
I've seen the AI fruits, but I didn't know they cheated
Oh
on
my
each
God.
other.
I went down a whole rabbit hole. I'm like, I go to bed early, but I started watching them and I realized I was watching them for 2 hours straight. There's so many, and they're just like AI fruits just cheating on each other.
Oh, that's
Strawberina and whatever the banana's name is. Like Strawberina, she's fat. And so the banana, he's super muscular and he's like, you need to lose weight. And she's like, no, and eating food. And then he goes to the gym and cheats on her. And then she gets revenge by getting super fit.
oh, good on her. Good on her.
Oh my God, this world's crazy.
And absolutely crazy. But you know what? I'm not the best relationship coach because I, have a failed marriage myself.
But
It's
you've learnt from it and you know, like, from past relationships what you do want and you don't want in a
yes.
relationship.
Well, yeah, that's true. But then saying that, like, I mean, it's not perfect either.
I
No,
mean, nothing
not that you
is.
can have it perfect.
Yeah.
But he's definitely the one.
Your person.
He is my person. As I said, he's my best friend. And yeah, if he wasn't my best friend, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, that's why they always say you should always start off with friends, as friends.
Well, I have said to you, that your previous best friend, but I won't talk about that here.
No, I don't like him anymore because he's not going to be at my birthday.
Yeah, he's up and left.
Rude.
That's very rude. I don't know, maybe one day.
Not with him, but one day I'll find my person.
You just need another best friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I would love someone that like I can talk to how I talk to him because I'll like send him a fart or something, or I'll send him like the worst photos and I don't care.
Yeah, see, that's exactly. I mean, I get I get toilet activity,
Yeah.
right? Ladies, when they send you toilet activities,
Well, they're proud of it. Well, this is probably TMI, but because I have digestion issues, I would update him on my digestion. Like, I would literally message him after I've gone to the bathroom to celebrate.
at least you're not sending the actual like content.
I almost did
of
once,
the
but I was
toilet.
like, I don't really want this in my camera roll, so
No.
it's for the memories.
Yes. Yes. But you know what? You're still young. There's still time.
Yeah, but I want to be married.
It's a lovely goal to have,
Yeah.
but focus on just finding the right person
I know. It's like
for
I don't.
you.
It's not something I want to rush because obviously I don't want to rush into a relationship that I end up not being happy in. But like my goal is I want to be married. Like I already know my wedding ring. I know what dress I kind of want to wear. Like I'm ready. I'm just waiting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look, I'm going to a wedding next month. They're in their 40s and it's their first marriage.
Yeah. With time.
There's plenty of time.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't matter what order you do things in these days. You don't have to marry kids or blah, blah, blah. You can have the kids first. You can,
Yeah.
no
You don't
right-
have to do everything the traditional way.
No.
I am thinking maybe when I'm in Europe, I might find my husband. but I don't really know if I can detach from dad while I'm there.
And maybe ask your sister about the,
Oh, does she have stories?
well, I don't know how to say this without it sounding a bit awful, but maybe the caliber of
Oh, I have heard. Yes,
is
I know
maybe
it. Yeah,
not there,
I have heard.
but you never know. You never know.
Never know. We'll see.
They can
Well,
just pop up
I
anytime.
did manifest a previous relationship when I first moved into the apartment.
Okay.
I manifested that because before I moved in, I was like, oh, I'm going to meet my partner in this apartment. He's going to be my neighbor. I'm going to start dating my neighbor.
And look
Which
how
I
that
should have been
turned out.
I should have been a bit more specific about the type of person, but at least I manifested something.
Let's not go into that one.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. Like, if you believe that stuff about, if you what you put into out to
Well,
the universe, and it will come back. And they say that, yes, it will give you perhaps what you need, not necessarily what you want.
well, that's true. That's why you have to, and I love manifesting. I'm a huge manifester. I believe in it. I fully believe I manifested my whole life past high school.
Well, if you watch some of the the videos that I watch, it is all about um, reincarnation and all of that. And they basically say that your whole blueprint of your life is, or that you sign a contract, your soul signs a contract, and your whole life is already laid out for you.
See, I don't believe that.
Well, but then, how is that different to manifesting? You believe you've manifested your whole life. That's pretty much saying, I've got a whole blueprint for my life laid out for me. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
saying it's true, because this is just some like shitty entertaining, scrolling at nighttime. And it's like, what is this?
I'm all for manifesting. I think it's the best thing ever. I just believe that the mind is so powerful and you can change the trajectory of your life by just like not thinking about it constantly, because like obviously thinking about things is not going to make it be real, but it's like because you're thinking about it, you're actively subconsciously doing the things that work towards that goal.
Yeah, but that is more about achieving your goals. Like
Yes, but also you're manifesting it.
that's setting the goals. You have to reach those goals. You have to take
Well,
action.
actually, I will say because like in primary school, high school, I was not fit at all. I didn't like doing sports. I didn't like any activities. So what I started to do, and I actually still do this, but a little bit different, I listen to subliminal messages as I sleep. So now I listen to ones for like positivity and like good energy. But growing up, I would listen to, and it's kind of embarrassing, some of the ones I would listen to, they were like fat burner, subliminals. But a lot of them were based around like having a healthy mindset and like wanting to be fit and active. And then I believe I did that so often that I changed my mindset of on being active and then started getting interested in going to the gym and eating healthy.
Yeah, it does work for some people. I mean, I went
Yeah.
to a hypnotherapist for weight loss, but you had to, repeat. You had to keep listening to it
Oh yeah, you
over
have it like it
and
doesn't happen
over.
overnight.
It
You
just
have to.
doesn't happen. Yes. But yes, your mind has a lot to do with it. And if you constantly live in that negative space of I'm no good, I can't do that.
You start
Well, 'cause
manifesting bad
Well, you
things.
believe it.
Yeah.
You believe that,
And
and
bad things
therefore you
happen.
don't do it. If you start changing that thinking that, I can do this, and you just keep doing little things towards that goal, then yes, you will achieve it. I mean, look, I not in a fitness sense, but I did that with my degree. So I started my degree late in life. I was a single mother, two girls at home, working full time. And I just decided that I wanted to do the psychology degree. And it took a lot of effort and quite a number of years. It's like,
Quite
three
some
three
time.
year degree did not knock over in 3 years. It took 10 years.
But you got there.
But I got there, but there were so many times in the earlier years, especially, and I worked away for work quite a bit. So there's some years there where I really struggled to get any units done. And there was times that I just don't see how I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to give up. When I kept at it, and then I think there was at one point where I was like 3/4 of the way there, and I just had this spur on, and then I just took on all these units for like the last year, and I got it knocked over, and it was like, oh my God, it's actually,
Yeah.
I achieved it.
Yeah.
But it just took little efforts,
Yeah.
continual efforts, keep doing it, keep going, even when it was tough.
And that's like, you can kind of view this similar thing with people's like health and wellness journey, whereas you don't have to go so full on straight away. You can just like bring on some healthy habits, one at a time, and over time it builds up, and then you build that momentum, and when you start noticing the results, it's more motivating, and then you just keep going until you get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
So if you were going to give some tips to somebody about like how to start, I'm not going to say manifesting. You can use whatever word you like, but maybe just heading towards their goals. They see a vision of themselves. How would you tell somebody to start?
A big thing for me is to be exact on what you want. You can have like a massive goal. Like if I had my big goal would be competing. You then need to kind of break it down into smaller goals, because you can't just like jump straight to the big goal. So with competing, I would be like, okay, you got to nail your meal plan, do really well with your training, build a good schedule, and you just like start achieving all these small goals, whether it's like getting a PB with your lifts or sticking to your meals for the whole week. And then over time, like you'll build up and you'll achieve the goal. I also I love routine and I love schedule. So I would always journal my feelings, and like I would journal what I'm grateful for. And I believed that that really helped me have a very positive mindset for my days, which then would also help benefit me to work towards my goals, because I would be in a good mood. I would feel super motivated and energized to achieve everything that I have to achieve. And it's just like having a good schedule is a big thing.
Yeah, I would agree. I
Yeah.
agree. That's what's always helped me get on track. I also think it's a little bit different for different people too.
Oh, for sure.
So it doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very sort of, I guess, analytical, logical. Things have to be in a pattern and a sequence, right? That's how our brains work.
Yeah.
So that structure, that schedule, like if things are messy in our environment, which it currently is, but, that actually creates chaos for us. We need
Yes.
things to be sort of
Super
organized.
organized.
And you were when Lauren got her first job, after school job, at Kmart, what she was best at was actually stocking all the stock in place. What was the job called? You used to place them.
What was it
So
called?
you weren't like, you didn't work on the counter or anything.
No,
You
it
just
was like
literally,
merchandising in a way.
yeah, and you were getting so much praise for the preciseness and the cleanliness and how all your stock was neatly stacked.
My favorite thing was folding the towels.
There you go.
And I
Right.
still fold my towels how we
Right.
folded them in Kmart.
Right. So, right.
I
So,
would actually purposely mess up the whole towel wall
Yeah.
so I could refold it.
but so that suits our brain, right?
Yeah.
It's structure. But not everybody's brain works the same way.
Yeah.
So then, if you think of other people like who are a little bit more chaotic, and they, I like to think of a mind map. So some people, it's easier to like visualize and actually map out everything. And it is more. And if we looked at that, we'd go, "Oh my God, that's just too much chaos. That's
yeah.
too many words on a page."
stressed.
But that will work for some people. But for them, still shifting towards goals will still help them on their journey. They just might map it in a different way.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's the thing. You've got to find what works
What
for
works for
you,
you.
because not everything like someone Lauren does is going to be, work for everybody.
Yeah. No, that's so true. And it's like, it's a lot of trial and error, I guess.
Yeah.
Because for me, getting my routine how it is now, I am very much like a morning person, whereas a lot of people aren't. So it's like, it's changing what suits your lifestyle and what suits you to make it
Yeah.
fit. But you also got to like know your priorities and
Yes.
like focus. And sometimes you do have to say no to certain things so you can still prioritize your goals.
And maybe understand what those priorities are, even
Yeah.
if you list them down.
See,
Because,
I love writing things down. For me, that's how I can easily visualize things. If I write everything down. I write down, so at the start of every year, I'll write down all my goals and I'll do like a little picture mood board. And then I just write down, even if it's like a crazy goal, I'll just write it down. And then my day to day, I love writing down everything that I
yeah,
do.
I think if you're someone who's struggling to, like, you're too busy, you've got too much on this, I think visualize, however you can visualize, through pictures or whether you write it or however you might sort that out. But it is really good to prioritize because you can visualize how those priorities, which are important things in your life, but you may not be able to reach that goal of that fitness journey or that weight loss if those priorities are really important and you can't, shift those to add more into that.
Or just do what I do and get up at 3:30 in the morning. You got so much time in the day.
No, thank you. Not doing that.
But it's
So
the best.
okay, me as an example, because I do have a gym membership. I
Yeah.
haven't been going.
You would go after work.
I
Right.
have got other menopausal issues and health problems that have not helped me. I don't have children at home. I don't have priorities. I work. I'm a bit flexible in my hours. Actually, I could start at 7 o'clock if I wanted to and finish at 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and go to the gym then. But I love my sleep
You
in the
love a
morning.
good sleep in.
But I don't have kids to come home to and worry about. And I know plenty of mums who get up and go to the gym early, and that's not for me. So my priority, I've prioritized sleep over getting up for the gym.
Yeah.
What happens to me though then at the end of my workday is, oh my God, I'm so mentally drained from work. And then I've also had the health problems, which means my energy levels have been pretty low as well. So then I'm exhausted by the end of the day. So the thought of going to the gym,
It's just,
it's been,
yeah.
right? But my goal would be, okay, just at least 3 days, let's say, out of my week, make myself go,
Yeah.
no matter how tired I am.
Well, that's the thing. You do kind of have to push through the tiredness and push through that mental barrier telling you,
Yes.
oh, I would prefer just to go home and do nothing.
Or I'm going to come home, but I have got a set of weights
It's a little,
I can just, we'll just like, I'll just lay down
Pump it up.
on the floor here
Oh my
and I'll
God.
just pump it up now.
it's gone flat.
God.